I have the singular honor to have on my show today the founder of one of Africa's biggest women in tech communities. She's smart, she's exquisite, she's phenomenal, and above all, she is a woman who is making waves in the tech industry. Today, I learned she has inspired about 22,000 women across Africa. Hello, you're welcome to Paper Tech, and this is my tech journey. If you are new here, please do subscribe and don't forget to hit on the notification icon so that whenever we release, you receive. If you're already part of the family, hey Bruce, we love you. My name is Kodia Dekumohima Sewakutu Patricia Efia. Call me Kasapa. Hello Ada. Hi, good to be here. I'm so privileged to have you here, honestly. Like, so privileged. So, I know I've said a lot, but in your own words, kindly introduce yourself to my audience. Who is Ada?
Okay, Ada is community manager at Google. She is also the founder of She Code Africa. So I'm the founder of She Code Africa. She Code Africa is a community and a non-profit organization that aims to empower and celebrate young girls and women in technology across Africa. And aside all of this, I am also the co-founder of the largest open source community in Africa. So yeah, that's like a brief about me.
Wow, that's quite a profile. So, you are the founder of such a huge community. How do you feel about that? Like, how does it feel to be this woman that you've become?
I think for me, it still feels like it's day one, right? The way I felt when I started it, like it's still my baby, and it doesn't feel overwhelming, like, oh, okay, this is like the largest community of women in tech in Africa. It's still the same thing for me. Nothing has changed since I started it.
So how was She Code Africa born? Take us back to where the idea was conceptualized.
Okay. So back in uni, I used to be a community leader for the same community groups that I now lead at Google, and I noticed that while I was doing that, I wasn't seeing a lot of women coming to tech. And I studied microbiology, meaning I come from a non-traditional background in technology. Then coming out of uni, I also found out that while interacting with a lot of women in my communities, in the programs I was doing while in uni, most of these women were not known outside. So outside in the real world, it's still the same, or we don't see many women in tech, but it's like, I see these women, but why are people not noticing them? So I decided to start something, so a platform. It started with like an article. I would write about articles about these women, just put it out there, and people want to connect with them. And then from there, it grew into like this huge community. So over time, we've evolved from being just an initiative where we celebrate women to being, okay, you know what, we're now a non-profit organization. We want to empower women with technical skills. We want to empower them with connections, with resources that will make sure that they're not just getting into tech, but they're also building sustainable careers in tech.
So how was it like getting funding from the beginning?
Oh, it was intense. So because of my community experience back in school, where most of the times the things that I did, I either did them self-funded or with minimal funding, and I would achieve a lot. So I didn't come into the whole running a non-profit with the concept of, oh, I need money to actually run this thing. So most of the things I was doing, I was using a lot of free resources, and I was still achieving a lot. For example, I would run virtual events that wouldn't require, paying money for like halls and all those things, and I would meet people. So it was, but after a while, as the community started growing, and realized that, oh, we need to get money to like maybe get resources for these women, buy them courses. We started doing things like donation, which is 90% of what She Code Africa runs on is like public donations from organizations and things like that.
Interesting. Like all these things, I'm sure there were major challenges.
Yeah, definitely a whole lot of challenges. From trying to like combine it with being a career. I want to say that I had no prior experience running an organization. So a lot of things that I did them out of trial and error, right? And imagine somebody who just graduated from uni running an organization. So most times, or for some period in time in my career, one would have to take a back step, right? In the sense that sometimes it would be me putting my career first and, you know, having to like recline activities for Shikoda Africa because I'm still just struggling to like stand on my feet. I can't keep sacrificing other things. And then sometimes my career would be the one to take the back step while I, you know, pioneer things for Shikoda Africa. And yeah, it hasn't been easy. And then, I mean, there's also the part of like getting funding. So go all around trying to like lobby with organizations, convince them why you need to give money for your events that's focused on a particular agenda, and all of those convincing. But yeah, those are like the major challenges. The other ones I'll consider them minor. Yeah.
Wow. So what is your drive? Like, what is your motivation in doing all of this?
So I am the only girl from a family of four kids. So I have like 3 brothers, and I know what it feels like being like the only girl in an environment, and I think that was like the primary driving force for me. But then getting into tech and realizing that, oh, this thing is actually common where there are lesser women in tech. And then I come from an underprivileged background, right? I couldn't afford a laptop. I studied microbiology. I didn't even study computer science. So it's like so many things all together. So I understand so many of these. I understand a lot of these struggles that many women face. And for me, it's just that I know what somebody paying it forward for my own career did for me. So I just want to pay it forward to these women. So yeah, that's like the main driving force for me.
So personally, what do you do in your lowest moments when some of these challenges overburden you?
I like to see myself as I can be a very hard girl. I rarely cry, but sometimes when it gets very overwhelming, I break down. And I think for me, it helps clear my memory. Sometimes I rant, sometimes I share to people, because I've come to realize that, you know, talking about these things, people tend to provide solutions. And I have friends who provide like helpful solutions as well. But in summary, what I do is, especially when it comes to like running an organization, can be very tasking, managing people, still making sure that you're producing results out there. I take breathers. An example is at the start of every year, I mean, after the previous year had wrapped up, everything has been so intense. When people are resuming like in January, I don't resume full time until maybe February. So I take like the entire month, January, to like really plan things through. Because I know that once I get things started, once I resume for my own month, it's going at a high speed and I can get overwhelmed. But I know that by then I've written down the goals that I want, the things that I want, and it's easy for me to like retrace my footsteps.
Wow. Take it from here. You can learn a few things when you're practicing on your own. Maybe you also need genuine. I need like 3 months to plan.
I think like 3 months to do, yeah, something like that.
So I read on one of your profiles that you are a feminist.
Yes, I'm proud one.
Interesting. What does it mean to be a feminist then?
So for me, it's, I mean, I had mentioned, you know, being like the only girl, and even though I didn't experience injustice in my own family, like outside, I experienced it a lot. And for me, it's just fighting for equal rights for women out there. And I feel like a lot of times social media doesn't show most of these injustices that women face, not just in STEM where I'm more focused on, it's like in the little things. I mean, there was a time a couple of weeks back, I saw a video on TikTok describing what female genital mutilation is all about, and just showing how horrific it is. And to me, it's like those little things, being able to speak up for women, because I know that not everyone has that opportunity to. I mean, the events that we just wrapped up now talked about something like that, and it's like, if I have that platform to voice out for, even if it's just one woman, I'm fulfilled. So I want to make sure that I'm that voice for every young girl out there.
Approximately, how many tech events do you attend in a year?
I don't think I can keep count. I don't think I can keep count of that, but no, I definitely don't think I can keep count of that. And I think that in recent times, I've cut down a lot, because, you know, as you continue to grow, the more invites you get, and if you're not careful, you just do a lot of talk and less work. So for me, it's like I try to like keep everything at a balance. So I would say that an average of, I would say like 30 or 50, I can't even say right now, to be very honest. Yes, I'm getting requests almost every single week, DMs, look at this, and with the introduction of like virtual events like Twitter Spaces, Google Meet and all the rest, it's now even more. So yeah.
Do you even have a work-life balance?
I don't. I don't, to be very honest. I used to have, but I mean, as responsibilities continue to increase, like, it's now in shambles right now.
Now I don't even know if I can tell you to be following her footsteps, right?
Oh, follow my footsteps, please. Follow my footsteps. Yeah.
Anyway, if I were you, I'll just, whenever I wake up in the morning, getting ready to go to work, I just tell myself, yeah, you've done a lot. This is enough. Go back to bed.
It can definitely not happen.
It's over.
Because there's literally like a lot of tasks waiting for, like, people are waiting for approvals on this, people are waiting for inputs on this. So it's definitely not easy.
What more should we expect from you and She Code Africa?
For me, I mean, everything that I'm doing as regards women advocacy and gender advocacy is via She Code Africa. This year, you know, the goal is to expand into more countries, which is why we're here in Ghana, not just to get a better understanding of the women in tech ecosystem here, but to also get a feel of what women actually need, because a lot of our activities are primarily concentrated in Nigeria, where the core team is located in. Although, you know, some of these programs have participants from all across Africa, we want to have, you know, more physical presence in other countries, be able to reach more women. The more women we reach, the more women across like local governments, you know, local areas that we reach, the more women we're able to train, and, you know, the more opportunities, partnerships that we're able to get from companies that are saying that, oh, you know, oh, She Code Africa has a presence in our country, so I want to maybe employ women in that, you know, location. So it's providing more opportunities for them. So it's basically like expansion. Before I would say member growth, but right now it's like member growth is like a steady thing. We're having like hundreds of people sign up on our community platform almost every day. So that's now like a something that we can't even contest anymore. So right now I'm just focused on expansion, community presence.
Now, look at my audience. Look at them in the eye, eyeball to eyeball. Tell them something. Motivate somebody out there who is also trying to break through in tech and even in life in general.
Okay, so I'm going to be very honest. The journey is not going to be easy. One day, right? There'll be days where you feel like giving up. There'll be days where it feels like everything is going smoothly. You've probably heard a couple of times or a number of times to never give up, but this is me saying it also to not give up. And another thing is to build your network, right? Even as much as you're trying to build your skills, your career skills to help you grow and make that money, you need that network to, you know, help amplify what you're doing, to speak on your behalf, especially in rooms that you're not in. So as much as you're trying to grow your skills, make sure that you're also building your network bank as well.
Wow. Build your network bank as well. Social media handles, please.
Okay. People can reach out to me on LinkedIn, my full name, Ada Nduka Oyom, or on Twitter at Kulukodes. And for She Code Africa, you can also connect to She Code Africa. You can learn more about She Code Africa by visiting www.shecodeafrica.org or on any of the social media platforms, She Code Africa.
Thank you so much for staying with us today. I learned a lot from this conversation. If you haven't subscribed already, please do so, and don't forget to hit on the notification icon so that whenever we release, you receive. Please do like the video and drop a few comments for us as well. My name is Kodia Jefumohima Sewakotu Patricia Efia. Call me Kasapa, and we'll see you next time.